It's my first time, and you're my first guest.
Most of our iGaming clients are in the same age of mine.
I was exploring the idea of neuromarketing.
Found something for me, listening with joy for some AI specialists and TikTok representatives.
UGC is the king 100% right now, but it's also replicated by AI right now.
I'm going to make sure that you make money while having a really good time, because that's what we specialize in. And who doesn't want to listen to that?
Thank you so much for coming. I'm very pleased to say that I'm hosting my first podcast today. So please pay mercy on me. It's my first time, and you're my first guest.
The new guy in the company, but 14 years in the PR and marketing. My name is Mike Waizman, head of brand of NGM Game Company. We create slots, games, crashes. Geek, AI fan, and social selling expert who wrote the LinkedIn manual in Yandex before and now works in iGaming.
Hi, I'm Ross. I'm head of relationships for Next.io, and I absolutely love the whole getting out, networking and traveling and learning so much about this industry. It's become rather my life, and my job is to make sure that we get people a really good ROI and having an absolute salubrious time.
Hi, I'm Barb. I'm the co-founder of Revpanda Group. Well, for myself, all I can say is I work on our agency clients to get the best return on their marketing efforts, as well as building long-lasting relationships through generating them some revenue through affiliate traffic, as well as creating organic marketing and generating some user-generated content for them. And obviously working on their retention through localization, translation, as well as some programmatic ads all across the web. Personally, I can say that I live in Riga. I'm from Turkey, but I live in Riga for almost 10 years. And I love the city. I would like to invite all of you for one day at least. I mean, you've been there, Ross, for you two guys as well.
The last time I was in Riga, I was, I think, 5 years of age in Soviet
I love
Union.
It's an amazing city. I love it.
And if you happen to be there, just drop me a line. Would love to offer you the most convenience possible there. So that's all I can say about myself.
So I think we should start with covering just the whole week that's been crazy the last week with a few events with Sigma, with AW. So if you could share your experiences, where you've been, what you've seen, what you've done, what were the highlights of this week, that would be amazing.
I can take the first bullet, I guess. Well, first of all, Irina, thanks for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. Well, we were in the beginning of the week in Sigma Dubai. We were exhibiting there with our full team. And for the last 2 days, we were in AWC with a part of our team, mostly roaming around, trying to discover the opportunities, because we are mostly from iGaming and AWC is quite diverse. Name its offers or even the verticals. So we were mostly on the discovery phase of the AWC, and it's a bit exciting to be there because you mostly don't know what's coming out of it. You always meet new people, and one of them could be very interesting for you and very, very beneficial for your business. So I think it was an overall great week. Obviously, the event that we had last night was also quite impressive. So we're happy to be here. I'm glad that we brought the team here. That's all I can say.
Yeah, but did you go to Sigma?
Yes, we did. We were exhibited, yeah.
Oh, I see. And for you, Ross, what was the highlight of this week?
It's really tough because I've had an absolute fantastic week here. First of all, like pleasure-wise and business mixed in, like it's been unreal. Sigma was pretty eye-opening. This is the first time I've actually been to Dubai in this industry for work, and I'm really excited to see where this place is going now, and the companies that were here, and the people I was speaking to, and what you can and can't say. I was here with our founder, and it was very exploratory for us, surprisingly good. And then Sigma almost finished me off, but I found some more energy for AW. And for me, I'm not really like a marketing guy. I do work a lot with our marketing team. So it's been very educational for me, but also very interesting on the affiliation and what will Dubai bring to the rest of the world, and especially in the industry that we focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. And for you, Mike, what was the highlight?
That's actually the second conference for me as being a freshman in the industry. I prepared myself to be ready for everything and not to expect. My trip was closed 24 hours before the flight. I never expected to be here. And totally different picture
So
from
like
Malta.
a Cinderella, like a Cinderella.
No. I'm the captain worst case scenario. So I got ready myself for anything and to be surprised on a good side.
Yeah.
Actually, the difference between Malta and Sigma, total different DNA of people presented. And meetings and tools I took. Actually, I never expected to receive a panel and found something for me, listening with joy for some AI specialists and a TikTok representatives. I never supposed I could be surprised in anything in my field. And to see someone that actually rules the world actually stunned me in a good way. So it's not just meeting people, that's even learning 4 C-levels.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. I also found myself looking at this particular week from like a very different angle. Like Malta has been different, Sigma has been different, and also different people, different perspective on everything. Very different, as you said, DNA of speakers, DNA of people just in general. And did you use some tricks or some, I don't know, special techniques to find relative context to network during this event? And Mike was telling us an amazing story
I'll tell
beforehand.
even before it. Even before I start to explain what I do, I have with me the smallest Game Boy in the world. And actually took it on a pen with me. So if someone asks me, what do I do? It's easier to show before even I give the pitch. What do I do? Games. And most of our iGaming clients are in the same age of mine. It's not TikTokers, it's not Zoomers. It's 40 years old guys that not finished with their Sega and Nintendo gaming, and they continue it in the same way. And that's the decision makers and most of the money makers in our auditory. So that's the first trick, actually. And it brought attention. And using my AI glasses of Meta to stream it all.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's fancy.
In Sigma, I was the only guy. Now I see about 10 or 20, including C-levels, using the guys to do the stories, the colleagues that do it. Actually have fun to be. And actually there is a way even to make a network with it, because the students, Howard students connected it to the computer, so you can recognize the person. Even before you start, don't need even the picture. You already know who you're speaking to without the cards and everything. As an AI fan, sorry, that's the sweet tooth for me. And the trick Irina reminded, the audience would never guess what the best spot to meet people and to meet decision makers. It's even not a coffee house near the conference. 2 of my greatest meetings happened in Malta with Sigma magazine editor with the full closure. No money involved, just the news jacking, even the news they needed. And here and now, I was kind of disappointed of the first day and planning not my audience that I wanted to see. And I met the man that actually sick for several months and avoided a bunch of sectors and project managers, because CPO, the project I've been seeking for, was smoking in a smoking room next to me. So no introduction, no connection involved, just the handshake, and he pinged me in the LinkedIn.
And finding yourself in the same basically environment, in the comfortable environment that people
And
are
boundaries
willing to share.
removal.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the trick, because you find yourself in a comfortable space and you're kind of willing to share, willing to experience something. Anything you have, Bob, that you use to sort of network, to spark the interest towards your product?
To be honest with you, my biggest trick is being brutally honest.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, ever since we founded the company, it's been the 5th year, and we've been like rigorously attending events. Like every year, we were going tens of events across different countries, different verticals, and I think in the end of last year, we finally created our perfect segmentation. So we wasted less time, to put it bluntly, and we just become more targeted to audiences. And during those times, we managed to build a vast network, right?
You just participate or present stands and everything?
Sorry?
You just participate or present stands and everything?
Both. We participated as well as exhibited. And during those times, we managed to build a vast network, right? From different verticals, like payments, licensing, regulation, consultation, and so on. And what happened in the end is that network is just became a hub. Let's say you came for, I don't know, licensing. I know a person that can help you. I introduce you. Same for payments, same for traffic, and so on. So our trick in general is became segmenting and promising something realistic to people. Like I know, like I mean, you guys have been working with operators and affiliates. The first thing is FTD. They speak about.
Yeah.
And what I say is FTD, this much, that much, I cannot tell you, but this will take your brand to another level in this sphere. And in case we can do something productive on both ends, it's going to be way more flourishing than any affiliate deal you're going to have.
That's a good point, because what I have learned from AW this year, it's never to neglect even other areas, because my first podcast in English were on some company that runs Nutra, whereas Nutra and I. But I know a niche, they don't have the speciality there and expertise, and invited me, and connections there just opened, because you're in an amazing industry, but still you neglect, or you pass the next some that not have your interest, but they know someone.
Yeah, and I think the beauty of affiliate world is that you can take like practices from Nutra, you can take practices from other like affiliate sort of associated spheres, and you can take it with you wherever you work. So if you work with iGaming, you can kind of take a sneak peek of what Nutra guys do, what crypto guys do, or whatever guys do. So just you can find an inspiration, because sometimes it feels like everyone does the same. So you really have to find an inspiration somewhere else. And for you, Ross, anything that how you approach, you kind of slide in, or you go like straight forward?
Would you know, I'd say I'm a little bit in between Mike and Bart here. It's trying to get that attention straight away. So at Next.io, we sit in the middle of the ecosystem. So, anybody can be our client here. Normally, depending on who they are, you have a few seconds to figure out who you're dealing with, what's the personality, what's seniority, and are they pissed off? How are they feeling today, right? You can often tell. And depending how much time they have. So while you're doing this in your brain and you have about 3 seconds to put this together, I normally say, I'm going to make sure that you make money while having a really good time, because that's what we specialize in. And who doesn't want to listen to that?
Good pitch.
It's a really good, you got me.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, exactly. And you guys, by the way, did an extremely good job of that last night, which is why I was in my bed for a while. I didn't get out till lunch. I really hope my bosses are listening to this.
Indeed. No,
That was the purpose.
I'm not a drinker in the parties, and still
It was amazing, yeah. So no, that's it. In terms of where to go, one of my best tricks actually is if you don't have sensitive meetings, get everybody together who you know at pre-reg. Get a table and start doing them in 15-minute gaps. Normally people will come and they'll sit there. What'll happen is your table will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you'll actually, attention attracts attention. You'll actually start getting more people coming and sitting
That the
around you.
horde,
And
following.
that's the start of the week. You've already kicked off, made some good relationships. And then, maybe on day 2, you can go up and say, hey, how about signing this contract?
Isn't it in a rush a bit? Never heard of someone signing a contract just to do.
Come and work with me for a week.
I
It's
actually
actually-
expected that people are running after you to close the deals, and you're not just seeking the closure.
Oh, it depends. It
It
depends
actually
on the
happened to me
company.
as well. It
Yeah.
actually happened to me this week as well. Like right after the conference, it was just happening. Like after the first day, because it's all about presenting the value they are looking for. If you are giving the value they need really, or they think they can benefit from, they will 100% be after you.
Tough.
But
Okay, that's your
it's a
sales guys.
question.
I'm actually
Yeah.
the shy and introvert, and always I actually work on myself. How
I'm an
to
introvert
break it.
as well, just to make sure.
Oh, okay. So a good introvert works
I'm
on
an
himself.
extrovert, but I do feel an introvert in here because you two are both exceptional at what you're speaking about.
So I always
very
brought my boss with me. Please meet the founder. Please meet just to open up and not to speak about myself or the brand. But bring
The
someone.
question I have to you guys is how not to lose the momentum, especially for you, Russ, because obviously, you pitched in so nice, and just within like these 30 seconds that you were speaking, I'm willing to sign up with you really. And how do you save this moment where you see the sparkle of interest from a prospective lead, how not to lose it, how to save it, how to keep this connection with someone?
Well, the biggest thing, and I suppose from a sales background, the money is always in the follow-up. So you have to do your follow-up almost immediately, just touch base, and then make sure you're quite structured in your approach. And then very quickly, you need to understand is if you're wasting their time or your time, because there is no point in spending a lot of time following up if this client really isn't going to be a buyer. So there's quite a few things to look at, but the main thing is always touch points and be memorable. Maybe you'll remember something you're wearing on your t-shirt or what you said or something around you. Bring that up into conversation, because what that does then is it jogs the brain to that person, be there in that moment. And if they're having a good time with you, that will come back during that follow-up.
The question is the follow-up. I told you I'm rushing to go home to do the follow-ups and not to stay and to relax because they forget you. I have the rule in a company. I need to arrange 7 meetings a day, even before I fly to conference, because otherwise it will be just traveling between the booth. So should I do the ping before I fly home or afterwards
It's a really good
when it's
question.
relaxed?
Yeah.
I think you should do it as soon as you think about it, because here's the thing. If you don't, you might forget and lose it. I always think speed is great. Don't worry too much about how you come across. If it seems desperate or whatever, don't pitch during that. Just make contact and you'll know quickly if you get a reply back or not.
Isn't it a bit aggressive? Because I tend with someone that lectured the personal brand and social selling.
Yeah.
It actually blocks you the direct sell approach. So my girls never pitching, and they if they do the introduction, they say hello, they seek for mutual interest. They never sell. They even don't mention the brand at the start.
Yeah.
Just not to bring the...
I think you're only aggressive when you're asking somebody for money or throwing a timeline. I don't think there's ever anything wrong with the communication. I mean, look, we work in a very relationship-based industry.
Yeah, 100%.
And how many, most of my best friends work in here now. I've built some awesome friendships. I bet half of my messages to people are actually just my friends here. And, I don't see anything wrong with pinging too quick. It just, again, it's what you're saying. And, read the room as well a little bit in terms of, who are you speaking with? How are they? And I think that's really how to control that cycle.
Also, there is no one-size-fits-all approach in this game.
Barb, in your introduction on LinkedIn, your brand or your firm is ever presented, the link or something, in your first message?
I don't do outreaches on LinkedIn now. To be honest, it's quite outdated, in my opinion, these days.
Let's talk.
And to be honest with you, I'm I told you I'm a little bit introvert, not fully, but a little bit. So I'm way better in person to person, like building trust between you and myself. That way I can actually, I'm not actually doing any sales pitch or something. I just create the connection between two companies and two individuals.
To be fairly honest, I've known you for quite some time, and so my perception of you is that we mostly spoken personally. We haven't really texted, we haven't really LinkedIn. No. Whereas with you, Mike, we connected on LinkedIn. And I know you mostly from LinkedIn, which is kind of
you know the picture I tried to make about myself, but don't meet personally, and to make this illusion we're now in this desert, so it may be a fata morgana in some way, but still C-levels, running than more than 2 person and running business. That's your business card ever, and that's the image you create about yourself. I think about 20% of our conversions, it's even not performance related or advertising. That's full directional connections via LinkedIn. And that's how we touch base with Snapchat, with TikTok, directly avoiding the old meetings and everything in conference. But maybe that's the way of small firms, small brands to create attention, to create stuff, because, once again, we have the imposter syndrome sitting with lots of guys with lots of presence, lots of experience. So once again, thanks to you, when I have a lot to learn. However, how to create your image in your brand. If you don't want to do it, find someone that will do it for you, because that's your visit card.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to ask you guys about. Well, how would you say, and where would you say is the easiest kind of place for you to build your personal brand, to present yourself? Because I know different people use like different sources. For me, I'm not really a user of Instagram. I don't understand it. I use it just for brand representation. And for me, it's solemnly like a platform to represent the visual side of my brand, to represent the atmosphere of like a particular event or a particular stand. For me, it's less sort of business approach. It's more like visual. And that's what we do with PIN-UP Partners and obviously with our brand personas. Whereas LinkedIn for me is a place where you can share your thoughts, where you can share your brand persona. And how is it for you? Because I know it's very much individual. For you, Ross, what is the most sort of comfortable place where you can speak out about your personal brand?
Yeah, it's definitely LinkedIn. I'm actually not massive on this. I'm more somebody that works with people like one-to-one and like builds that individual relationship. I'm not sort of at the marketing end, so I'm all about closing the right person. But I can tell you have an incredible guy in our company, the MD, Pierre Lin, actually, who was actually individually bigger than the brand himself. Oh. He was bigger than the company about 3 years ago. And we actually had to bring somebody in to get the brand actually higher than him. That was the challenge.
Oh, so he was the opposite.
And what I can tell you is where I think his success has come from. Is definitely his podcasts on YouTube. I believe they're close to, one of the number 1 podcasts at the moment. And he has some fantastic guests on there. I don't know what number it's at now, but a couple of years ago, it already hit 100. And he's done exceptionally well as an individual. And actually more people were knowing him than the brand. He's very big on LinkedIn as well. Sometimes I'm not sure. I think there's maybe more than one of him because he seems to be running a marathon, doing a podcast.
There's always this guy. There's always.
He's that guy. Yeah. He's that guy.
Yeah, there's always.
The problem of a brand, and actually that was a complaint for someone, a friend of mine that runs personal accounts of C-levels in big corporate Russian Google. The complaint of the brand, when you work on accounts of your C-levels, the others will hunt it for you. So if you grow up and if your accounts looks too good, they'll steal the persons from you. So you should be careful running the brand even more than personas. Yeah.
And for you, Bob, what is your safe place for a personal brand?
I mean, I would still say LinkedIn, although I don't pitch anything there. But I can tell easily that it's the best platform for B2B, right? You just point out your business.
I agree.
And if you have some legitimacy background, let's say, as if we do something with a partner and they have good testimonial for us. Also, like we've been doing some LinkedIn lives. You were one of our guests, actually, Irina.
Yeah.
By the way, very, very good one.
Thank you so much. It was super exciting. It was live and it was scary because you see like the numbers.
Technologically, LinkedIn, it's actually a lag. I do try to avoid the lives. I know it brings attention more.
Yeah.
But technologically, it's a bit problematic for me to do a live. I would prefer to bring someone to Google Meet or Zoom to present more than just do it live.
Yeah, it's a whole work. I had like people from our production team helping me to set up.
As long as you have content.
Yeah.
It's never mind what platform is it. It might be Instagram. Because most of all of your workers and employees, that's their platform, Instagram and TikTok. And most of our clients are even more Facebook person because average client is about 35 plus.
It's actually a very good point. And your clientele, are they mostly on LinkedIn or where do you spot them?
Well, let's say clientele that we haven't met. They're obviously on LinkedIn, the ones that we can find. But the ones that we already found, I mean, they could be on Telegram, Skype, whatever. We don't mind. As long as there's a comfortable medium for them, we are there. And to be honest with you, like most of my conversation with the clients are going through Telegram rather than emailing or LinkedIn. Obviously, that's up to the client. Wherever they're comfortable, we will be just present there. So for me, there is no comfort zone, just to say that. In case they want to talk on WhatsApp, we also talk on WhatsApp sometimes. I don't mind.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And I've seen a lot of people sort of diving more into AI on LinkedIn. And because we were chatting a bit with Mike recently because I posted an article and Mike was very lovely suggesting me like, hey, this is like what we should use to make it better so it can stand out. And I've noticed people are using like AI stuff, I don't know, bots and AI software, I guess, if it's a good thing. So what is your take on AI in general? And do you use it for like personal branding?
I'll have a good and bad news. The good news, AI will rise and grow more in all fields of your life and not just in personal brand. The bad news, starting 2025, that's official, LinkedIn will depress formally and even shadow ban content using AI in words, in visual and everything.
The same was
the
done
sign
by Google.
for me to remove someone from my friends or to unfollow. 2 words. Exciting news. How many times have you seen it in a post? When you say it?
Yeah. How do you feel about that personally? This is your area, and I'd be interested on your opinion of what you just said, the good news and the bad news. What is your opinion on this?
Considering the algorithm, I'll find AI way to avoid the algorithm of Epacifying, or maybe have any human touch to the content to create that. That's the way I want to, to hack the algorithm in a way.
Got it.
I mean, it's not on B2B, it's also on B2C. The same move was done by Google way long ago. Like first there was ChatGPT or even like some tools like Jasper for writing content with AI.
Yeah,
it's very cost efficient, but like platforms like Google, LinkedIn understands that these are used for exploiting the tools, and it's not
It's even a
providing any
dissonance.
benefit.
LinkedIn suggested by AI to add commentary that's good and everything.
Yeah.
That actually depresses the person that uses this commentary.
Yeah, as well, but also, I mean, first content was the king. Now there's no crown at all everywhere. Once there are too many kings.
Now
there is no real
visual is the king. Now the upgrade, you should catch your eye, because we started with movies.
Yeah.
Then we continued with MTV clips in the 90s. Now the health of our audience, it's about 7 till 12 seconds to catch them in the visual. That's why we're living in the age of shorts,
Yeah.
reels, etc.
Yeah, there is no attention span.
No captivity, no.
Also, sorry.
yes.
Also, the very same thing was said by Evolution Gaming Taught. I forgot his title, but he was having one interview. I was watching it. He was saying that they are focusing on short attention span types of things. So like crash games and sort of similar types of games are also on the rise because of that.
Yeah, we made a lot of hype in Malta because we brought cyber psychology field at all as a science.
Yeah.
Before you start the casino, you have electrodes and you have psychologists working on the side to know it's like A/B testing even before it launches.
Yeah, I think it's called neuromarketing. I was exploring the idea of neuromarketing, where you actually use like neuroscience to track how people react to certain marketing activities that you do. And I haven't really found like solid data that proves that it actually
We have
does
even research,
something
and
for
that's
you.
what's boosted us on Sigma magazine. That's what they used that actually blown it up.
By the way, Irina, from your point of view, like I know you are the host of the show, but since you are representing a very big brand, how does it look for you? Like,
So I mean, in terms of AI, I don't feel comfortable, to be fairly honest, relying on it completely. I do like to use it for like as a utility, as a tool for proofreading, for making something better. But I do believe, and what works for us is creating an original idea, creating an original content, and then enhancing it somehow, or I don't know, doing something with it if you lack time, if you lack if you just want to somehow make it better using AI tools. What I found very much exciting is doing, we found this amazing guy who does very detailed AI videos. And he created some like short format videos for us using AI, and they look very much like a real video, a bit more polished, a bit more, like a really nice.
You don't spend a week
drawing.
After Effects specialist when you have a guy that you do it with the prompt.
But it works in the moments where you need like a substitute for a service, where you don't have time to do like a proper motion, where it takes, I don't know, 9 hours to render one shot, where you just need something like in a moment. But I'm kind of old school in terms of content. I do believe that content should be written, maybe somehow enhanced by AI. But I always kind of see when something is written using AI.
I frequently asked, would be your, as marketing or even journalists, be changed by AI? And I always remember the quote by Sam Altman. AI won't fire you from your job. Person uses AI will.
yeah,
That's
weird.
And Ross, in sales, do you guys use anything to like enhance pitches, collect information? I don't know, do your researches, and maybe there's like an AI tool for that as well?
Yeah, sure. So so what I find AI does, it can get you somewhere a lot quicker. Whether that's putting a proposal together, or Mike's just kindly shown me an awesome tool he has for decks. This stuff can take a long time in the sales process. So yes, but will I let it speak for me? Absolutely not. Will I put something in and not go through it and curate it in my own way? Absolutely not. Yeah, it can help you do a lot of things in the process much quicker. But the thing about AI is like, and you said, you don't rely on it completely because it's a risk, and it's only as good as the data that it has, right? And, there's a lot of bad data out there, and that the risk of blowing a deal or losing credibility, for me, it's not worth to solely rely on that.
So it's never complex. You don't trust thoroughly the AI. It's always a tool to assist you, not.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't believe it's at that stage yet.
But
And,
the complex stuff that you can do with AI, like us into open source intelligence involved. Well, we're using now even not Sales Navigator to find phone numbers and emails. There is an AI tool that scraps the old data. I always brag I can find a person in 90 seconds if he's not wanted by Interpol or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's no, I agree. I think like for exactly that, finding somebody's phone number or being able to get to them, like it's speed, but you've got to get on that call or you've got to make that email. And at the end of the day, it's going to be on who you are.
But do you think where we're going to go in 2025, like innovation-wise, format-wise, content-wise, what is your sort of take on it and prediction? I don't know. Are you sensing VR videos is going to be... It's kind of a big thing, but for me, it's a bit of a flop, to be fairly honest. Maybe you see something coming up for 2025.
I will take another. Streams are on. Podcast. We're all talking about podcast. Just to remind you, it was started in late 90s and gone off and start again. And I have 3 magical words for each content, marketing, even salesperson, the UGC. User created content is the king of the medium in any words, in journalism, in marketing, and everything. And not the hype of AR. It's not a flop, but you'll see how a brand like Apple can create and reburn something that already died, because we all burned the Google glasses, and they can create a hype on something that's not existed. We have all now the Ray-Ban glasses and everything. So it could not be the next thing, but you cannot neglect. So I'll find, and I actually expect iGaming to flourish even in the meta world, the first casino or social casino, because they have even the possibility to monetize it starting the last year or so. So the crypto stuff involved with the iGaming, and I expect even more using in most of our fields using of AI, more and more content created. Some of it's garbage, I admit. Will be flooded by garbage content.
I think we all have to go through quite a bit of garbage through the years. Wouldn't it be good if they like figured a way of clearing that up on all the channels?
I think using AI that previously created the garbage. What would you say for you in the area where you operate? Do you think is like coming as a next big thing, as a next big trend, as a next big something that everyone is going to be raving about?
That's a really tough one for me. I honestly think next year is going to stay the same. You mentioned earlier about a lot of things come and flop. And I think over the last few years, we've seen some serious hype flop. We've seen people put money into things, NFT. Like we've seen a lot of things absolutely flop.
Telegram Casino, somebody?
Yeah, I'm actually... If I haven't seen anything that has made me go, wow, that we're not already using and isn't already a buzzword. But look, I have 2 geniuses next to me in their space, so it's probably better I pass the ball over to
And
Barb.
how do you personally react to like buzzing trends? Is it something that you run to try out? Or you like you sit still and wait until it like falls or it goes away, or you just instantly try? Because I have like a few colleagues, a few friends of mine, and the moment they see a trend, they are there to try it, to film it, to do something about it. What is your take on
Yeah,
this?
so normally I have one of those trend nerds that calls me and wants to sit down and tell me all about it. And they probably have done that with 5 people in the same day as well. Yeah, no, I kind of see it as another bloody thing to look at. And I see it maybe more as a pain point than a pleasure. So I'm not that guy at all.
I'm a relative in the company here, so yeah, I'm the nerd sitting and telling you about this.
How is it for you, Bob? Are you on the nerdy side? Are you like, let's chill about it kind of guy?
I mean, when it comes to the novelties, I'm a bit on the conservative side, guys. Like, I don't think they are ready yet for anything. But why not? Why don't we think of regulation on it? You know, like there was a case.
Yeah.
Good.
There was a
Good
case
point.
when Midjourney I think it was Midjourney tool, could be wrong, but there was one AI generating AI image generating platform where there was fake images of Donald Trump getting arrested, Pope wearing ultra luxurious parkas and so on. And right after that, there was some updates or regulation related things coming in.
2 weeks ago, a video of Hollywood stars attacking the rapper with the T-shirt. A friend of mine made this video.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and the Hollywood star, they actually already have a beef on Samulton because probably OpenAI stole her voice, Scarlett Johansson.
I mean, yeah, that's also a thing. But honestly, there's also, I saw it on Wikipedia just for one paragraph or two I read, the internet is dead theory. Like you said, UGC is the like a king 100% right now, but it's also replicated by AI right now. So there is
like a simulation kind of thing.
And not like
Give
that,
me the
but,
red pill. We're
like creating the AI content and publishing on UGC, like a user accounts on Reddit, Quora, and other platforms that you have. And to be honest, since you said like a red pill, I was in Japan like 2 months ago, and I tried the VRs, and impeccable. Like it's incredibly good, and it just makes you feel like, okay, there is no way back. Now I just have to close all my social media accounts and just go create a shelter for myself, because there is no return. And in my opinion, the only trend could be is the backlash of interest by the people. Otherwise, I don't think it's going to slow down or go anywhere.
Yeah, it's a really interesting kind of thing that we're moving so fast forward with like technologies and stuff, introducing more and more. And you said that casinos like might be going
the old school. At the minute, because we are now working in some kind of old school industry. That's several stuff that already evolved in the big brands. We have still our accountants working on Excel files and so non-CRM involved even in the big brands. And it's really high using AI, lots of budgets, but in some ways, the industry is old school. It's not an early adopter.
What I'm trying to understand and have your opinions on is that iGaming is obviously very much it's an extremely innovative field. I've been with fintech for like 10 plus years. Then I moved to iGaming, and I was wowed by the speed of action within the industry, by how innovative it is. But are we that much, guys, innovative to do like iGaming products within Meta, iGaming products mixed up with crypto? We already do that, but you know, to a next level. What do you think? Is it possible to do like a different product within iGaming?
I mean, it's happening, isn't it? Like Crash games didn't come out of the blue, right? Like some people created it, and it's actually addresses today's users perfectly. It's probably the most popular game ever right now.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, I don't know if you saw, there's one, I will call it stupid, but just the logic is stupid, and it's quite entertaining to watch and play. Rubet's chicken game.
Yeah.
If you saw it, you just click and chicken just crosses the road.
Same Crash
and
game,
every time it crosses the road, it just doubles up. And these kind of things are coming in, and I think it's quite innovative. Like it's quite addresses today's people. The only, again, like you said, Meta and other platforms, and I mean, there it's going to be a matter of regulation, right? I'm not the right person to speak about it.
I seen today a product that never wrote a code in his life, wrote a prompt to create a Crash game by clicking.
Yeah, we did as well. We tried it at office.
VBet, I think, product that just brought the code to create a Crash game and a slot game by prompt. So where it goes, I never know. Actually, my point, maybe moving a bit aside of our regular audience and getting out of the box. We see already regular brands get into in iGaming world, e-gaming sports.
Yeah.
We have already iGaming out to the sports, Formula One, fights, UFC, and etc. It can be a mixture of our different industries to bring another audiences and other clients and make it more hush territory.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be more ideas and products fail. This game is all about how many customers you can acquire, and you really have to take that load, and you have to take a loss at the start. You know, if you look at what happened with esports, we go, oh my gosh, look how many esports guys. You know, everybody loves esports, and all the kids are watching it, and that's the next generation. That is, but that's been nowhere near what they thought it was going to be at the start, and maybe it will get there. So you have to be very careful, you know. And I think when you're looking at investors now in the space, and you're looking at people, they're still very much investing into those, you know, traditional sports books and casinos. But I agree with you with the games, like just with that chicken game, something very simple. Just
Casual.
you can keep people on there for that long.
But but if you look at it, and I mean, the thought that I'm going to present is very straightforward. It uses the disadvantages of people's attention span to create something. But it's obvious because we were in a trip just recently, and I've seen a guy playing this exact game for the whole trip, which was 8 hours, and I was like fascinated by how he was really into the game, into the product. I started like looking at it.
Is it Ludomania or I don't know, because that's like, how can you spend so many tiles on the same
I mean, the
activity?
same logic as TikTok and Reels.
Yeah.
It's no different than that. It's just monetary things involved. And actually, you are more into the event at that point. That's why it's even more engaging. Because you are the one who decides what's going to be next and what's going to happen. And I mean, I'm not Daniel Kahneman to speak about this, right? Like, I'm not that expert in
Game
psychology.
theory, yeah.
But
master.
to be honest with you, it's genius.
Yeah,
what they did.
absolutely. That's what I'm trying to say. It kind of forces you, it loops you in with the most easiest kind of techniques, the most easiest. You just use reflexes. You use like your, like a child. It creates like a child of you. I don't know. It gets you to a certain level where you're just excited to do something very simple, which is fascinating. And I know that iGaming is. No, I would not say mostly about it. It's a very high tech, and it's obviously like a very innovation sort of driven industry. But at the same time, we have products like that, and it's fascinating. It's like truly amazing. And you guys in your like in your work-life balance, is there anything that you use as simple as that to unwind, to do something like, I don't know, like running a marathon, for example? It's an easy thing to do, I guess. I'm just joking, sorry.
I mean, I think when you look at three of us, Ross is the only one who can run a marathon.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Do you frequently run a marathon, Ross?
So last year I had 2 new hips. I had the same operation as Andy
Oh,
Murray.
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm not going for pity like, oh, that's it, guys, I'm walking out. No. Yeah, so my early years, I was a strength and conditioning coach, personal trainer from 20 up, and then I coached sport for a while. So I'm really big on that. Now I'm just like a basic gym guy. So my rule is to do 5 hours a week of exercise. And however I split that up. But that's a basic rule for me. And that could be a long walk. It could be weights. I won't be getting back to sport for a while just because the doctor's not going to allow me. But I do want to get back into that. But I used to love sport, and it's amazing for unwinding. And it teaches you so much because, you know, look, the body and the mind are embodied, meaning it's a single unit. Sometimes you can physically feel pain if your brain's not good, or if you're physically doing something and releasing endorphins, your mind will be in a better place. And I think it's super important to take time out to do this. I'm not saying that you should do it all the time, but just 30 minutes to an hour now and then, it's going to change your state of mind. And in a role like mine, when you're working with people, you really can't afford to be in a bad state because that's going to come off and you're not going to produce as well as you should.
Absolutely.
Ross, I hate you and I interview you in the same time. And I don't want my wife to listen to this podcast. That's a thought. As someone that born in Soviet Union and with the same characteristics, work-life balance, non-existent for me. I live from crisis and live and flourish from crisis to crisis. And I'm in my best when crisis actually rises. And I'm out in my worst when there's a flat line.
Well, there's a flat line, yeah. And for you, Bob, how is it?
I mean, to be honest, this is something I considered in the beginning of this year, like, New Year resolution and stuff,
Yeah.
because I was on a long trip, as I said, and to be honest, I tried to gain it back. I didn't have it for a very, very long time because, in positions like ours, the work starts after 7 p.m. sometimes because it's silent and you can focus on your thing.
Yeah.
But if I have to note down what I like doing extracurricularly, not like work-life balance, I'm quite a writer myself. I just do journaling. I try to do some sport activities as well. I do I try to learn tennis. I try to learn kickboxing and gym as usual. But other than that, I'm keen on movies as well. I was a cinephile once. I lost it after business, but these are the things that I'm into most.
For me, the extreme of airsoft from time to time, just to shoot and get it out. And I'm still a geek. I have a great collection of retro gaming and consoles, so my gaming continues after my working hours, and me versus them. And when I want to, to get my mind, that's the VR comes. And here's the mind of my different world, but there is a competition between me and the teenager son, so
That's going to be tough.
Can you recommend top 5 games that you would say must have?
I think it would be too much selling because there is always another one, but Vampire the Masquerade. It's the adorable RPG game existed as a book, as an RPG game, role-playing game on tabletop and VR, so you can live in the world. There is World of the Rings and Starship Troopers, because I adore the movie, adore the book. And there is a werewolf and living inside, attacks and aliens aside. If you haven't seen the movie, by the way, you should. I think it's an Oscar nominee even for effects or so. Starship Troopers. And there's an awesome meta game for it. I'm still a fan of casual gaming inside meta, just to shoot some hoops, just to do the treacherous, and I have even the arcade there to play the arcades from 80s with the games there.
Oh, nice. And for you, Bob, I think it's one of the hardest questions to ask. What are the top 5 movies that you would recommend?
Oh, I mean,
if you
I don't
need
have
a
much.
moment, I totally understand, because I would not have answered this question.
To be honest, I don't have that many niche movies to recommend. Probably everybody watched it. Watched those movies. I think the pinnacle of my generation is Fight Club, obviously. It's my all-time favorite by far. The second one I'd put, actually, back in the day, even before we started the company with our CEO, Emre, we were watching it a lot, Wolf of Wall Street, which was our main motivation.
Yeah,
Which was our main motivation.
I've watched it recently. It's a great movie.
And it actually pushes you to be more salesy, more aggressive, and I love it.
If you'll add to it, you see me in both of the movies about the magicians, you'll see the shots, the casino issues, etc.
Could be. And the next thing I would say, I think I liked Martin Scorsese movies a bit more. Casino was really good. Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci. It was awesome. The others, I would say, then this is the hardest step. Then I'm completely lost. These ones I can watch over and over again.
Godfather, there is always an offer you could not refuse in our world. Godfather.
Godfather, I'm too young for it. Sorry.
Now I'm feeling the old kids.
That's something. That's a position. That is where we're gonna have lots of comments. I guess.
I'm sorry for that. I watched it once and it was like a 3.5 hour, and attention span. We talked about
attention
it.
span.
I agree with you on that. I will look at the time of something. That's asking a lot.
Yeah.
especially if we're busy. Like, you got 3.5 hours just to kick back on a night? I don't like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Like a Dolce Vita, which is a 350, I think 3 hours.
Oh,
50
which one?
minutes.
I don't think I've watched I think anything that's over 3 hours at the movies, especially as a
Yes,
kid.
yeah.
Like, I've just never gone to see
I
it.
can binge a series with my wife just to detach anything. Now I'm out and watch a binge, just taking my time to relax and to dive into the content.
Yeah.
Of course, with pauses and everything, but no work involved. The binge could create
Yeah.
the heaven.
And I can add Existence. It's actually the same year as Matrix, very similar to Matrix. It's Jude Law's movie. I think it just went a bit overlooked
I didn't
because
get
of
it.
Matrix.
I adore the Matrix. I didn't get the movie.
It's very similar. It's just a bit more different. And I don't know, fifth one, if you can help me, maybe we can put Godfather in it and we can
Yeah, I
sort
think
it
we
out.
should.
Yeah.
And for you, Ross, and because you taught that you were like a conditioning trainer.
Yeah.
For someone who wants to get like an easiest way to get into sports, like after work or like just to unwind, what would be the easiest way? Where to start, like
Well,
fitness wise and sport wise?
The most single important thing about doing sport or fitness is to find something that you enjoy and like doing. Because as humans, we don't do what we don't like.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, it's on the individual, but maybe you like going to dance classes, or, you know, maybe you like just putting a podcast on and going for a run. Maybe you want to do some boxing. Maybe you want to play team sports. For me, playing team sports, and the last couple of years I did it, I would be recording how many calories I burnt while doing it and how many steps. And it didn't feel hard work. If I went out on a run or to try and replicate that, I would never get to the same amount I would do playing. It's amazing
Yeah.
chasing a ball around like a dog. You actually like forget what you're doing. So my advice is try everything out and find something that you like and you love, and you'll stick with it.
For me, to be fairly honest, I do love like a mix of, because I'm very much into sports because it helps me to not think. Because I think I overthink about a lot. I am trying to, I don't know, to reflect on something, to think what the strategy should be, what the process should be like. And I'm very much in my head all of the time. And when I go to the gym, and when my trainer, I have an amazing trainer, he's a Cypriot and he's a very straightforward kind of guy. Do this, don't overthink, do that, take the form, like follow a number of steps. It really helps me to relieve everything and not to overthink.
Is it your
Not
sort of
overthinking
meditation?
helped me. They had
Yeah,
some
I
music
think-
and in my swimming, because I don't know how to waste time when I swim and not to think on my work and anything.
Mike, that is something I have been thinking about. Recently, I've been swimming quite a bit for my like rehab on my hips, and I was just like, I get bored so quickly.
Audiobooks. Audiobooks.
I need you to recommend me some waterproof ones because I'll just ruin everything.
I'll give it to you.
There we go. Yeah, that's something that crossed my mind.
Trying to go
And
for
actually,
the
I
deeper-
found a way. I found a
Vampire
way.
season.
There is not a lot of audiobooks free recorded by actors or full discussable stuff. And I found a great way to create myself. I hate or don't have time to read the book in the paper, but I adore to go to sleep with my audiobooks. So there is AI way to clone my best reader and the best actor. It's Samuel.
Jackson.
Reading my books now. I just clone his voice and just PDF of the text, and you read my books now.
I kinda dislike audiobooks, but I'm very old school on the book side, so I'm very on the hardcover stuff. So it's a bit hard for me. Rather than podcasts or some YouTube videos would do the job for me. To be honest.
To be fairly honest, guys, I'm out of my questions, and I could have been speaking with you for way, way more, but I'm so much appreciative of that you found time for me, for our brand, for the moment today. So thank you so much for making the time, for making the effort. This has been a very hard, demanding week. And I'm hoping you enjoyed this experience, and I'm hoping to see you once again on any of our second, third, and fourth podcasts. So thank you so much.
That was adorable pleasure, Irina, and thanks for inviting. Just for the opportunity to meet guys like this, Barb,
Yeah,
it's a pleasure.
I can totally
Ross,
agree.
same here.
I can totally agree. Yeah, we should have it like a regular thing, like the four of us, because I really enjoyed like the dynamic and how each four of us represent something different.
I appreciate it as well, Irina. But before we call it a day, I wanted to ask you something back in the previous questions, if I'm allowed.
Absolutely.
You asked us like what are the tactics, the pitches, and so on we do. But we are the sellers, and you are the buyer here.
Yeah.
So what works in your opinion
Now
the
the
best?
spotlight is on me.
Yeah, please.
I mean, how do I see you guys in anyone who's trying to come up with anything? You mean right there? I do enjoy as someone who I am this person. I do enjoy when something is written rather than said to me, because I can forget what has been said, and I always rely on a text, and I always rely on something, and I always ask to send me something like a proposal or something which has numbers, has data, has something, because as a marketer, I can't do anything unless I know it gives me a certain effect or a certain number, or it has like a certain effect on something, on traffic, on brand, on reputation, on whatever. So I always start a conversation with, can you please send me something? So I need to take a moment. I need to think. And I am this awful person. I always need a moment. I always ask, and I had a few people reaching out to me, and they were so excited. They wanted to make a pitch, and I was asking, guys, I need space. I need something to read. I need to learn about you. I need to learn about your company. And then I want to have a moment to have a call, to speak, to understand of how we can get together. And so that is my perception of the product, of the process.
No
and
sign up on the same day to discuss.
Yeah, we do rarely sign up with someone, but we, I guess, and this is where, and my brand are really sort of close. We do like to build something over time. And I think any relationship takes time to build, takes time to work. And for me, the longer, I mean, it might sound strange, but for me, the longer I know someone, the longer I'm like in contact with, the better I feel about them. Yeah, and I am kind of making a connection. So when it's too easy, when it's, like too fast, it feels a bit unnatural for me, a bit artificial, because I like to have a process about it.
And too good to be true.
No, that's quite comprehensive, to be honest.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We're going to pitch you in
Well
10
noted.
seconds.
Absolutely. Let's go.
We're ready.
Thank you so much, guys.